Hey guys, it's Pam Plays Games. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online. I am still in Vesper Bay in the Waking Sands, which is the headquarters of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and we're about to go ahead and talk to Minfilia about doing this whole thing. We Scions have but one objective, to safeguard the future of Eorzea. Among our gravest concerns are the godlike beings known as the primals. Long have we striven to find a lasting solution to the threat they pose. I know not what it is you desire for yourself, nor what it was that first brought you to Eorzea, but I firmly believe the power we possess was given to us for a purpose. Pray consider this when you give me your answer, Galvin. I will go whither the wild rose blooms. I mean, I assume that no matter what you answer, it's probably going to be the same, but...
早速使ってるわね。協力してくれると受け取っていいのかしら。よかった。ありがとう。きっと協力してくれると思っていたの。では改めて暁の血盟の仲間たちを紹介しなきゃ。シャーレヤンという言葉に聞き覚えはあるかしら。
Right now, to Galvin? No.
エオルゼア六大都市の一つで、アルデナード小大陸の北西にある都市国家よ。あ、いえ、正確にはあったと言うべきかしらね。彼らは古の地に精通し、エーテル学や魔法の分野では帝国さえ凌駕する知識と技術を持っていたの。そんなシャーレアンの中で賢人と呼ばれる人々が結成したのが救世使命。
And now she talks about Charlian as if it is gone and no more. But that's not the case, so we'll find out.
エオルゼアが滅亡から逃れる希望があると信じてこの地に残って活動してくれた集団よ。他の住民は北洋の本国に帰ってしまったけどね。彼らがそのシャーレヤンの賢人たち。彼女がイダ、隣がパパリモよ。二人とも森の都グリダニアの調査を担当しているわ。
When we've met them already.
よろしくね。
よろしく。君なら協力してくれると信じていたよ。
私もね。次、彼はサンクレット。
Ah, Thancred.
ここ砂の都ウルダ派の調査の担当者だ。
よろしくな。彼女はヤシュトラだ。海の都リムサロミンサの調査の担当をしている。
よろしくね。最後に彼はウリエン・ジョーギュレ、この本部の執務長よ。困ったことがあったら彼に聞くといいわ。
月明輝けども必ずや暁迎えん。我が友の言葉、この出会いに感謝を。
我々は5年前のカルテーノの戦いで痛手を負い、指導者を失った。
She's talking about Louisoix.
そして我々と歩みを共にしていたミンフィリアたちと暁の血盟を結成したの。
このように能力者とシャーレアンの賢人を中心に暁の血盟は多くの名員で構成されているわ。
Oh, and I mentioned Louisoix. If you look up behind Minfilia, mounted on the wall is a staff in this frame. The staff is Louisoix's and was the one that he wielded at the Battle of Cartonneau, which is why it is preserved in a place of honor there.
そして彼女、受付や事務処理を担当しているタタルさんよ。
We met Tataru already, but there she is.
よろしくです。
みんなで仲良くやっていきましょう。さてと、早速だけど頼みがあるの。ウリエンジェさん、バルデシオン委員会からの資料は届いてる？
Uh-oh.
ええ、こちらに。
I'm not referring to what's happening in the game. It is a really gorgeous day out today, like 70 degrees.
不滅隊からある事件への協力要請があったの。
And so I've got the sliding door open, and the screen door is letting in just the perfect temperature of air, which is really funny to look up and see a branch with all these dead leaves on it. It is April 23rd right now, so it's spring. I should not be seeing dead leaves, but that probably means that branch is dead. Anyway, the reason I said oh is because I just saw my cat run up to the screen door, and she's been climbing it lately, so I have to make sure she doesn't keep doing that.
説明をお願いできるかしら。
事件の概要はこうだ。七輪銀山で採掘されたクリスタルを運ぶアマジナ鉱山社系のキャラバンが襲撃された。それだけじゃない。時を同じくしてウルダハ近辺の貧民窟から幾人もの人が消えている。
クリスタル強奪事件と誘拐事件ってところね。本来こういった事件は治安維持も務めるグランドカンパニーの仕事だわ。でもこの事件、おそらく蛮神が絡んでいる。
現場に残っていた手口、おそらく首謀者はウルダハに住むアマルジャ族だ。アマルジャ族にはクリスタルを強奪したり人を誘拐する理由がある。
あなたに蛮神問題を理解してもらうためにもこの事件に関わってほしいの。ありがとう。ウルダハの事情には担当でもあるサンクレットが詳しいわ。彼に
I keep hitting it early, I'm
俺
sorry.
に任せてくれ。よろしくな。
I love the phrase Yoroshiku. It covers a number of meanings, but what's really funny is it actually cannot be translated like there's no literal exact translation. It might mean I'm in your care, or pleased to meet you, or let's get along together as we work on this. Yoroshiku is the phrase, and then you often hear Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Ready to begin, are we? That's the spirit. So then, your mission is to investigate a crystal robbery and a spate of abductions. Actually, I kind of want to try... so, the American voice actor for Thancred in A Realm Reborn was Taliesin Jaffe, who is one of the members of Critical Role. And in the first campaign, he played a character named Percy, who has just... He's just doing his Percy accent for Thancred, and it just cracks me up. But I don't know if I can do it. Let me see. Crimes which we believe to be connected. Assuming we are correct, it is likely that any discoveries we make in relation to one will further our understanding of the other. Now, since the attack on the caravan, our friends at Amal'jaa and Sons Mineral Concern have doubled security over all their shipments. No, that's not going to work. In light of this, it is my judgment that the abduction should be our priority. According to our preliminary findings, the majority of the missing were last seen in the vicinity of Camp Drybone, so that would seem a fine place to begin. A fellow by the name of Isambard serves as the camp's de facto leader. Pay him a visit and see that he gives us his full cooperation. Alright, so before I do this, I am actually going to teleport back to Ul'dah real quick and just finish this other quest, because it's going to drive me crazy if it's just sitting there on my quest log. Also, I have a kitty cat with me. My Fiona has joined me. She's my girl. I love her. Alchemist Guild. Yes, that's where I want to go. It's all my fault, really, because I didn't know where she was. So I was looking around for her before I started recording, and I found her. You've come on behalf of Jandalane? Why, I just first furnished him with a fresh batch of my special creations last week. I realize the man's services are in demand, but it would be physically impossible for him to exhaust the entire supply so soon. Stolen, you say? An unfortunate turn of events indeed. Not entirely unexpected. You see, the man is something of a genius, and genius is often misunderstood by modest minds. Trust me, as I speak from extensive personal experience. Yes, great minds must band together in trying times, lest the realm be deprived of our talents. And so I command you, deliver this parcel to Jandalane with all speed. Okay, so I'm guessing that other guy was probably on the same quest that I was. But now we'll go to Limsa and turn this in. There's a guy doing alchemy over there. Good for him. Wonder where the fledgling Upkalu minion comes from. That's interesting. Anyway, there's me. Where do I need to go? I need to go to the upper decks. I'll go to the aft castle. Limsa is very confusing to get around. They're all kind of confusing, but Limsa most so because it has multiple levels. And it just seems like you should be able to get there from here, but you can't. Like, see, there's the Aetheryte that we were just at. And it seems like you should be able to jump over here and then, like, jump down to it, but you can't. The two levels are separate in terms of, like, how you can get around, which just is it to make it easier on the servers, I think, or easier for your computer, maybe your PC or your PlayStation. If there is an ounce of compassion in you, friend, I beg it of you. Retrieve from me the tools of my trade, for I am none other than Jandalane, the Is. Okay. I'm not voice acting. I'm not a voice actor. I'm not even trying. Oh, the girl left me. Could this be? Yes, I can feel it. The light returns to my eyes. Power courses through my fingers. I live. And as I live, this unspeakable embodiment of ugliness must die. Begone, foul demon. I would say she's unspeakably ugly. I mean, she's just kind of plain. And I'm not so sure this is better. And so I ask, how do you feel, madam? Why, it's as if, in but a single magnificent moment, I traveled beyond the void and returned to life as the embodiment of all that is beautiful in this world. Could it be? Yes, it must. How else to explain such power? You are the one whose coming was foretold. You, yes, you are the esthetician. In the flesh, madam, I am Jandalane, crafter of coiffures so divine that Memphina herself doth begrudge my clientele their beauty. But let us speak of you, madam, for where a moment ago stood a fashion-challenged frump, now there stands a beauty reborn. Yay! I don't know about the butterfly tattoo, though. Actually, I'm not so sure about any of it, but whatever. And you are the one I must thank for reviving my soul, that I might once again bestow my gifts on a realm bereft of beauty, a kindness I intend to repay in full. Step away from me. Do you fear that your own hairstyle is becoming passé? Fear the specter of ugliness threatening to consume you? Fear not, friend, for it shall not survive my wrath. Nope. I did not ask for that. Fortunately. As the madam before you, as this very realm we call home, from an abyss of unfathomable drabness, you shall rise anew. My clients have been known to make reservations moons, even years in advance, but you shall know no such troubles. No, for proving a staunch ally to good taste, and when all of this turned a blind eye, I gladly place myself at your beck and call. Yes, the next time you find yourself plagued by aesthetic ennui, you need only ring the crystal bell from the comfort of any inn room at which you've taken up lodgings. Jandalane shall hasten to the scene. Yes, in a flash, the dreary, uninspired life you have hitherto known shall end. You shall travel to the realm beyond and return to us as... Now, see, this pose just makes me laugh because I'm thinking of a tweet I saw where somebody was trying to do one of Dio's poses in Stardust Crusaders and leaning back like that far. It was like, how you can't do it because you'd just fall over. A beauty reborn. I give you this as a token of the trust between us. Treasure it, for it is the key to a world of aesthetic wonders ordinary men shall never know. So now I have a token to get a free haircut. Oh, Master Jade Elaine, do come back. I've not made my next appointment. All that to unlock the esthetician, which means you can change your hairstyle, and limited sorry limited changes to your appearance. Like, I can't change my skin color or eye color, but I can change or I can't change like the hair, not the hair, but the ear length, but I can change the hairstyle and color and a few other things. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to go to I don't want to go to Horizon. I guess I have to go back to the Steps of Nald. And what I'm going to do is, I unfortunately have to run. I can at least do this. Ethernet, the Gate of Nald. Central? Yeah, I want Central Thanalan. Yes, that's where I want to go. The reason that map looked weird is because I hadn't been here yet, which now I have. And unfortunately, I do have to run. I do have Peloton at least, so I can go a little bit faster. It doesn't feel much faster, but it is a slight increase in speed. And we're going to run. Unfortunately, we have to do this all the way to Camp Drybone because we still don't have a mount. I do have it set up for when I do get one, because that way it's just there waiting for me. But I do have quite a lot of mounts unlocked on my main, but not as many on Galvin because he's at the beginning of his journey. The SDS Fenrir is a bike, a motorcycle that you can get from the... Gosh, my voice is just scratchy as heck. You can get from the store, Mog Station, and I highly recommend it if you do start playing regularly, because not only is it a pretty darn cool mount, but it also gives you extra speed in areas that you haven't unlocked the extra mount speed in. So it'll go faster. So, you know, that's just a nice little bonus. I'll go ahead and get that, even though I don't really need a porter just yet, because I have not even unlocked the next region, let alone the Chocobo Keeper there, or the Aetherite. This area is where you do a lot of your starting quests if you pick one of the Uldan starting jobs. The one I was thinking of last episode was Pugilist. I don't know why I forgot it. Probably because Pugilist is just not one of my favorite. I mean, it's fine. It's actually, I liked it a lot more before 6.0 because they changed it significantly, and it's just much more complicated now. It's kind of mildly frustrating. So it's, I guess I get it, but it's just like there's a whole lot more that you have to do in your rotation to unlock basically two different abilities, one for single mobs and one for groups. It's like, why do I need to go through all that just to get that? Anyway, but yeah, Western Thanalan is where you will do a lot of starting quests if you start in Ul'dah. Now we're in Eastern Thanalan, and as you can see, despite the fact that it's night and it's rainy, you can still see all of those lights, lit up things. That is crystallized ether that is a remnant from the calamity from when the from when Delamud crashed. And when you get closer, you'll see parts of it that you'll recognize. We'll come to recognize as Allagan technology. It all looks very similar. So when Delamud broke into pieces and crashed, we get these gigantic outsplashes of ether that crystallize, and they'll be in different colors depending on where you are in the realm. There's a lot here. There's a fair portion. There's one place in Limsa where you see quite a few of them, and there's one place in Gridania. I'm not going to bother unlocking love meats because I don't think I'm really going to need them. Love meats are really good for when you are when you're leveling different jobs. They're nice, and also for leveling crafting and stuff. So I've tried to unlock them, but as it is now with basic experience you get is so great. You really don't need extra jobs to get up to until you hit level 49, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Anyway, I'm Isambard, here to search for the missing folk, I take it? Minfilia sent word that an adventurer fitting your description would be along. She also warned us to be wary of the Amal'jaa. It seems we know who the culprits are at the very least. Now, I bear no official title at this camp, but the people here have come to look to me for leadership. You have my word that I'll do all I can to help see the victims safely returned. And I'm now level 27. Okay, let's get right to it then. Minfilia names the Amal'jaa culprits in all this. You would do well to investigate them first. I'm also seeing... I hate to do this while I'm recording. Much harm has been levied on these lands by the Amal'jaa hands. The flames burn where they might, but their light cannot stay the darkness in all places at all times. There have been brutal murders of callers at the Church of Saint Adama Landama, innocents wishing no more than to pay their respects to the dead. The poor souls deserve a proper burial. I would see to the deed before the Mongols catch their scent, but I know not if the Amal'jaa still linger. Would you secure the remains for me, friend? You will find them on the eastern road. 12 willing, you may even come to learn something of what the Amal'jaa seek in this area. Okay, a friend of mine was asking me a question on Twitter, and I wanted to answer her quickly. Even though I have something like, this is 22 minutes in. Yeah, I didn't want to keep her waiting. You know. Anyway, I could have just cut that out, you know. But then I get confused about when I stopped and started and blah, blah, blah. So we're going to come over here. Excuse me while I yawn. And as we can see, there is already a confirmation of the fact that we have Amal'jaa here. These guys are level 12 though, and I am now level 27. 27, yeah. I'm not worried. Fiona, please. My little kitten is trying to get my attention. My little needy girl. Now, I don't know how we are expected, especially if you're a Lalafell. Just pick up these 3 corpses and carry them back. No problem. Easy enough. I'm going the wrong... No, I'm not going the wrong way. I'm going the wrong way. What the heck? Hey, Fiona. Why is it pointing me that way? Oh. Because it's pointing to the quest. But I don't want to drop down into the camp. I don't like doing that. And also there are points where there's an invisible wall if it's too high for you. D-Sock. Okay. I don't want to know what his first name is. It is good to see you returned. Were you able to secure the remains of our fallen? I was. See? Ripe corpses. With the bodies given back proper to the earth, the souls will find their way across to the other side. You have done a noble deed this day. I thank you. Now then, what of the Amal'jaa? Did you see any? Surely such massive monstrosities as they cannot conceal their presence, much less take the quarry unawares. Ah, so there were Amal'jaa remaining after all. I feared as much. Their part in the lowborn disappearing is all but confirmed, but I sense there's more to this than meets the eye. The occasional Amal'jaa raiding party would not account for people going missing in these kinds of numbers. The total is too great, and the questions too many. It would not surprise me in the least to learn of another hand in this. But whose? Countless travelers pass through Drybone every day, and even if it were one among them, how would we best discover who may be implicit in these vanishings? That's a good question. I take a drink of water before I continue. What say we turn an eye to the common folk themselves? It may be among them that we find the reasons for these vanishings. 12 forbid it be so. There's a merchant by the name of Ungust, who was born here in Drybone and grew up in the Golden Bazaar. A rough character, but he knows the people here better than anyone else. I'd wager he's at the inn, quaffing away the day's earnings. Here, I'll write a note for you to show him, else he's not like to speak to you. Oh, this guy looks familiar, huh? Well, gods be damned. I'm sorry, I can't burp on cue. You're that bloody adventurer who threatened me back in Ul'dah. What in the seven hells do you want with me now? I have this note for you. Dear friend, missing people, please help. Yours, Isambard. Folk around here are as wary as they come. They'll turn tail and run if you so much as pass wind nearby. Played them all for fools and coaxed some hard labor out of them, I did. If anything, they're even more timid than before, what with all the disappearances. You can go talk to them yourself if you don't believe me. Also, it's just, raining in the desert. No big deal. Oh, green carbuncle. No, that's a golden kamuy, I think. The wolf, one of the wolf mounts. I'm pretty sure I have it. But please, sir, just leave me be. I have nothing to say but this. The Thal take who or whatever's been feeding off us low folk. What do you want from me? I don't know anything, I swear. Please don't kill me. Yeah, they are all terrified. Just like he said. Just as I told you, wasn't it? The whole lot of them are terrified. There's been talk of folk getting abducted, but if you ask me, they simply haven't moved on to a better place. This place isn't exactly Costa del Sol, if you know what I'm saying. Also, if you're hearing voices in the background, that's probably, like I said, I have the sliding door open because it's so nice out, but I also do have neighbors. So they may also be enjoying, as is their right, the fresh air. I wouldn't blame anybody. I was thinking about closing it before I started recording. I should have just gone with my gut. Oh well. Welcome back, Galvin. Have you learned aught of import? I see. I suppose I should have expected as much from Ungust. Well, another thought occurred to me in your absence. The common folk are nothing if not fervent in their religious beliefs. Perhaps if they speak freely to their gods, then the clergy may know something of use. Okay, neither of those are good for me, so I'm just going to take a bronze piece, sell that for cash. If we would know what the common folk speak of to their gods, we've no better place to ask than at the Church of St. Amal'jaa. It is a small and humble church found to the northwest of here. And so long as you are headed there, might I ask you to deliver this embalmed corpse? A morbid request, I grant you, but it must be borne to burial, and I trust none more than you to see it done. Seek out a man named Marques. He tends the graves of the Lich-Yard. He will tell you where the body is to be interred. Marques, huh? Again, I'm not quite sure if I should be pronouncing it Mark or Marquez or Marquez, but I just tend to go with Marquez because that is how I read it when I first started playing this game. And, you know, sometimes pronunciations and such just stick in your head. Now, I find it fascinating that they are guarding the inside of the lich yard. Like, are they worried about people up and leaving? Not that that's not an impossibility in this game. But, anyway, here we are. And here's Marques, who has unusual boots. I am Marques, yes. A body, of course. There've been so many bodies of late. I apologize, sir. If you seek a place of burial, then there is an empty grave atop the ridge. Take the path and lay him to rest there. This one, for some reason, really confused me for a while. You have to go into this narrow little path. And you come out into this quite nice gravesite. And, well, there's a corpse in his undies. And now it's buried. May they all walk in Thal's realm. What? Missing people? I'm afraid I cannot help you. But maybe Sister Aurson can. She's been so kind to me. Everyone has been so kind. I don't know why, though. Pardon me. You will find Sister Aurson within the church walls. I always find it interesting to see people who are on the same quest line as mine, and it's like, are you further along than me? Are you just after me? Where are you? In this, that person seemed like they were doing a lot of these side quests, so they're probably not going to catch up. I hear you have done us the service of burying a fallen soul. Please accept our gratitude and extend it to Isambard when next you see him. You seek knowledge of missing Drybone inhabitants? It is true I am closer to the people than any other of the order. I confide in them and they in me. When they wish to speak to their keeper, Thal, I am the medium through which they do. Should I learn anything pertinent, I will be sure to share the information with you. I only wish Marques would be more helpful in the matter. I pray he did nothing to offend. He saw terrible things during the calamity. His scars run deep. Indeed, he seems now prefer the company of the dead over the living. While tragic, I fear such behavior ill befits the church. I received word not long ago that one of our recent visitors, a man called Thancred, I believe, took offense at his conduct. I must have words with Marques, and soon. And now we are going to head back to Isambard, but we have also reached the end of the episode, so I'm going to call it for now. Thank you all for watching. I hope I see you next time. Have a good day and take care. Bye.